In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to select a $50,000 per month or more market or niche for your agency. And I've even prepared a list for you with over 4,000 different businesses that you can go for in your SMMA. And if you're new here, my name is Max. I run an SNMA, a super niche marketing agency. And on this channel, we explore how to start, run, and grow a successful marketing agency that can help us produce great results for our clients, but also help us as the entrepreneur to achieve financial time and location freedom. And if you want to save yourself some time, you can watch this video in double speed. But without further ado, let's just dive right into my computer and let's get started with this video. All right, so we're inside of my computer right now, and let's just get started with this presentation. So here's what I'm going to cover in today's video. First of all, I prepared a list with over 4,000 SMMA niches that you can choose from. So if you have no idea what niche or market to go for, I'm going to show you exactly a huge list that you can select from essentially. Then we're going to talk about rule number 1 when you select a niche. You want to go for an SNMA, not an SMMA. Rule number 2 to keep in mind is growing, not dying. Rule number 3 is profitable, not broke. Rule number 4, reachable, not hidden. Rule number 5, interesting, not boring. So these are some rules that you have to keep in mind when you select a niche as well. And then finally, we're going to do a summary. But before I dive into this video, I just want to mention that I have a 100% free SMMA course on my website. It's 100% free as mentioned. It's a complete course. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars myself into different courses, coaching and consulting. And I'm also running my own agency as well right now. And I want to help as many people as I can to go from zero to over $10,000 per month with a social media marketing agency. So we offer the course for free, we offer a Facebook group community for free, and weekly Q&A calls for free as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But let's start with point number 1 today, and that is the list of 4,000 different SMMA niches. So if you have no idea what market or what niche to go for, look no further, right? So let's begin with the first one. So here's the list of 50 different niches, and then I have another Excel sheet tab here as well with over 4,000 of them. But let's begin with this one, and you will have the link in the description to this sheet underneath this video essentially. So 50 SMMA niches or niche ideas that you can keep in mind. So use this list to select your SMMA niche. Remember to be unique. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Select a niche that is interesting to you. The niche is growing, it has money to invest, and is easy to target and find online. And we're going to talk more about this later in the video as well. And once you have selected your niche, choose a different ads platform than most other agencies use in your market as your service essentially. And remember that Google and Facebook is a safe bet for pretty much every market. However, TikTok and YouTube are on the rise and provide a lot of new potential in a lot of markets. So essentially what you want to do is that you want to go for a unique niche and then also have a unique offer. So let's say you're going to help dentists, which really not are that unique, right? But let's say you're going to help dentists, which is more a crowded market. Then what you want to do is to select a unique service. So if most agencies out there help dentists with Google and Facebook ads, you want to try and figure out how to do TikTok or YouTube instead. And you can do this very easily with the help of the media buyer, and I have a separate video on how to find and leverage media buyers as well. But for now, let's just go through this list. And I'm not going to go through this entire list because you can just open up this list yourself. But it's basically 50 different markets or ideas that you can start to think about when you want to select a niche. So for example, we have accounting, bookkeeping, and tax preparation. Great market to go into. Agents, like a professional representative in a business transaction such as real estate or automotive or beverages or different types of brokers. Construction and home improvement, that's the niche that I'm in obviously. Design, distributor, e-commerce, fashion, food services, health and beauty, manufacturing, media, music, nightlife, personal services is a big one as well. Pet services. This is actually something that I looked into when I started out. Those dog daycare centers. You know, they charge like pretty much like $400 to $800 or maybe even $400 to $1,000 every single month to take care of a dog. And I think I read about those dog daycare businesses on Forbes actually, because it was one of the fastest growing industries back in 2019 or something like that. So yeah, professional services, consulting or freelancing. You can basically go through this list and will have a ton of ideas from this PDF right here. And again, you find it in the description of this video. But also what I prepared for you is this Excel sheet, Google Excel sheet, and you will have the link in the description to this one as well. As you can see here, if I scroll to the bottom, I have 3,920 different type of businesses here. So you have a lot to choose from. And this basically what this is, it's the Google My Business category list. So when somebody signs up for Google My Business, they can select different categories. These are all of the different categories inside of the Google My Business when you sign up essentially. So you literally have over 4,000 businesses here that you can just go through to find your niche. So you have no excuse to find a niche. You can find a ton of them here. Art cafe, what you have here, appliances, customer service, there's a ton of different like super niched down markets here, right? But there's, yeah, from A to Z, you can find pretty much all different businesses out there, mostly local businesses, because Google My Business is only for local businesses essentially. Here you have a ton of different types of businesses that you can go through, so you have no excuse to find a unique niche that you're interested in. Obviously, I'm not going to go over all 4,000 of them today, but what I want to cover in today's video in more detail are 5 different rules that you need to keep in mind when you select a niche. So let's begin with rule number 1, and that is SNMA, not an SMMA. So SNMA versus SMMA. So don't be a generalist, and this is what I talk about pretty much all the time on this channel, right? But you don't want to be a generalist, you want to be a specialist. Only sell one service to one specific niche. And this is what we call an SNMA, or a super niche marketing agency. It will allow you to produce better results and make more money, or produce better results for yourself and your client, help your clients make more money, and in return, you're going to make more money as well. Because the only way you can really make money as a social media marketing agency is to help your clients to make more money. Because if they make more money, they're going to spend more money with you essentially. But the concept here is an SNMA versus an SMMA. You don't want to be a generalist helping everybody with everything, but you want to have a very specific niche. Select one of the niches that I just showed you, and then you have one specific service that you sell to that niche. So for example, let's say you're going to help gym owners and you're going to help them with advertising. And when you look into gym owners, or when you talk to gym owners, you notice that all of them are only doing Facebook, Instagram, and Google ads, but none of them are doing TikTok and YouTube ads. That's where you have your opportunity. That's what I recommend. Be unique, do something different, get the business owners interested, because you're not going to be like everybody else pitching Facebook ads because they've already done that, or they're already running Facebook ads, but you're going to have something new like TikTok ads that they've never tried before. So they're going to be more intrigued and more interested in talk to you essentially, right? Be unique, right? So this is basically that point. So don't do what everyone else is doing. This is how you blend in. If you do what everybody else is doing, you're just going to be one in the crowd. You don't want to blend in when you run an SMMA. You want to be unique and stand out with exceptional results. Sell a new and unique service to a specific niche. Just what I just talked about, right? So for example, if everybody is selling Facebook and Google ads to dentists, you should sell TikTok or YouTube ads. However, you can also be a lot more creative when choosing a niche. Again, refer to the list that I provided earlier. So if you have a very unique niche that you go for, and you also have a very new and unique service that you sell to them, then you pretty much struck gold. Compare that to selling Google ads to dentists that everybody's doing. That's going to be super hard. So this is how I want you to start to think when you select a niche. Less stress as well. Like when you do an SNMA instead of an SMMA, so basically with an SNMA, you're going to sell the same service, the same system, and the same offer over and over and over again. This is how you produce great results with predictability for your client. This will result in less stress and more money in your life and in your business. So let's compare the two, right? Let's say you're a generalist. You're helping everybody with everything. One day you're helping a gym owner with Facebook ads. The next day you're helping a dentist with YouTube ads. And then the third day you're helping a lawyer with TikTok ads. Now you have 3 different types of businesses, 3 different types of services that you're trying to sell, 3 different types of sales processes, 3 different types of ads, 3 different types of landing pages. It becomes a mess. Super stressful, super hard to manage, and super hard to get results for. You have to have 3 different media buyers trying to figure all these things out simultaneously. And then you just compare that to an SMMA, having one niche with one service and one offer. You can just do the same thing over and over and over again. Because when you figure out how to do it for one of your clients, you can just apply that to all of your clients, and all of them are going to get great results. So go for an SNMA and not an SMMA. Rule number 2, growing, not dying. So when you choose a niche, this is also very important to keep in mind. So dying market. So you don't want to select a niche or a market that is dying. For example, the newspaper business, right? The newspaper business is dying. Nobody's reading in newspapers anymore. Everybody's reading on their phone, right? So that would be a bad niche to go into. You want to go into growing markets. So select a market that is growing, that has a future, a service or product that will be here forever. For example, people will always need a dentist or repair their bathrooms, right? Or remodel their bathrooms, maybe is a better word, right? You kind of want to look at the market that you've selected in the niche and just ask yourself, is this a dying market or is it a growing market? Will this niche or this service be here in the future essentially? And market leverage. So this is also very important. So by simply selecting a market that is growing and not dying, you will automatically take advantage of a powerful leverage in your business. So if you target a market that is growing, they can afford to invest in further growth as well, right? So basically what I mean by this point is that by simply just selecting the right market, you can grow exponentially more than another person who has the exact same skills than you, but he's selecting another market. So I hope you see what I'm saying here. Let's say I would take myself. I would put myself in a dying market. I would get X amount of dollars generated, right? If I just took my exact same skills and put that into a new, unique, and growing market that was booming like this, and I put my same skills in that market or in that niche, I would make 100 times the money that I would do in the dying market simply by just choosing the right niche. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's very important to think about these things when you go for niche. And then here's an a quote from Abraham Lincoln that you maybe heard before. And it goes like this: if I had 9 hours to cut down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. So selecting a niche is important. Spend some time thinking about it, right? So I'm sure you understand the message in this quote, right? If he had 9 hours to cut down a tree, he would spend 6 hours kind of thinking about how he would do it the right way. The same things go for the niche. Don't just jump into a niche, but have the list and just keep those 5 rules in mind as well as you select the niche. Rule number 3, profitable, not broke, right? So broke prospects. Selling a premium service or a product to a broke student will be almost impossible, right? If you're trying to sell something that is expensive to somebody who doesn't have any money, it's not going to go that well, right? So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that your prospects, that they have money essentially, right? So selling a premium service or product to a business owner with a profitable business is a lot easier than selling to a student, right? Make sure that the niche you select has money to invest. And in my agency, our cap is that we only work with roofing and solar companies making at least $1 million per year, preferably $3 million per year, because then we know that they have a profitable business in place. We know that they can afford to generate money, and we also know that they can afford to spend money into advertising. We also know that they have like some business operations in place, the right people in place, they're ready for growth and all of these things. So working with more established businesses is a lot easier than working with startup or broke businesses as well, for that matter. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is something that I think a lot of beginners do as a mistake in the beginning. You want to start small and start with smaller businesses because you think that will be easier, but it's really not. The third point that I have here is high ticket sales. So it's always a plus if your market in turn sells expensive products or services. So for example, hiring a lawyer for a specific task is not cheap. Hiring a roofer to replace a roof, they replace the roof for $10,000 to $20,000. Putting solar panels on your roof is not cheap. And this is not mandatory, but obviously if you're helping a business to generate a lot of leads and sales, and each and every single of their sales is worth a lot of money with good margins, obviously that is going to be a profitable business for your clients, or they're going to be very happy, and in return they're going to spend more money with you. So this is also something just to keep in mind. For example, if you're going to help a chiropractor to generate some more massages for like $20 each, that can be pretty hard to sell as a high ticket service. But I don't know, I've never been in that niche, so I can't really say that for sure, right? But that would be my guess at least. Rule number 4, reachable, not hidden. So what do I mean by that? Too small markets, right? So if you select a niche that is too small, it will almost be impossible to find or get in contact with them online. So if you select a niche or market that is too small, it's going to be pretty much impossible for you to advertise to them or try to generate more clients. Or maybe there are only 100 businesses in your niche. Maybe it's a super small market with only 100 businesses, and that's going to be hard for you to scale in essentially, right? Okay, so let's talk about big markets, because big markets naturally creates more opportunity. However, there's a fine line here, right? Some markets might be too big with a ton of competition, while others are small and medium in size, providing a lot less competition. So you really have to go with your gut feeling here, your intuition, or like your common sense. The nirvana, or like the ultimate niche that we can go for, obviously, is a big niche with very little competition, and you are unique and you're selling something that they've never bought before, and you're getting great results for them. If you can get all of these things together, you're going to make a ton of money and have very happy clients as well. So yeah, use common sense. Don't make a science from these rules. Just use your gut feeling and common sense. Do some of your own market research, follow your intuition, and select a niche you believe and see potential in, essentially, right? And rule number 5, our final rule, that is interesting, not boring. So what I mean by this is that if you have some personal interest in the niche that you're going for, that's always a plus. Like, you will spend a lot of time in your selected market or in your selected niche, talking to business owners about their business, their pains, their problems, their desires. So it definitely helps if you're personally interested in the market that you're selling to yourself, essentially. However, this is not mandatory. It's just a big plus. Like, when I started out, I wasn't particularly interested in my niche, roofing and solar, right? But I saw a big opportunity back in 2017 when I started, and so that got me excited. So it was fun for that reason, essentially, right? So you just have to trust your own judgment on this, what's interesting or not. And over time, I've become more and more interested in my niche, and I love to interact with roofing, solar contractor, business owner. So yeah, you kind of learn their lingo, you start to understand them and their business and more, so it becomes more interesting over time. Also, a big point regarding this interesting, not boring, is that if you're an insider, that's going to help you a ton. So it can definitely help in the beginning if you know a lot about the industry or have personal experience in it. This will mean that you already know how the market works, what they like, what they don't like, and you will be seen as an insider. So it's always easier to sell to somebody if you're an insider. For example, if I'm trying to sell a new action cam, for example, like GoPro. Let's say I started out GoPro from scratch and I was just a random computer guy or a video guy that had no experience in skateboarding or like dirt biking or surfing or whatever it might be. It would be a lot easier for me to sell this action cam to a surfer if I was a surfer myself, because I knew their lingo, I knew what they liked, I knew what they wanted, I knew their pains, I knew their problems, I knew the way they like to surf the waves, and I knew why they wanted to catch that on the camera and so forth, right? So it would be a lot easier for me to sell to them if I was an insider versus if I had no idea what a surfer liked or wanted, right? So this is also just a big plus. If you select a niche that you're actually interested in, you actually know some about that market as well, it's not mandatory, but it will definitely be a plus when you start out. Over time, you're going to be an insider anyways, because you're going to talk to a lot of business owners and just learn naturally on the sales calls, essentially. So let's go over the summary now for this video. And the first thing is to follow the 5 rules. However, rules are meant to be broken, at least sometimes, right? You don't want to break the law, obviously. But so you may want to see these rules more so as like guidelines. Don't ignore your own judgment, gut feeling, or intuition. You might see something nobody else is seeing. So maybe you find a niche or market that is breaking 3 out of those 5 rules, but you see huge potential there. So you decide to go for it anyways, right? And obviously trust your own intuition and gut feeling. But those guidelines or rules are definitely something to keep in mind when you select a niche. And the second thing that I want to mention as well to summarize this video is to be unique. So this is probably the most, if not the most important lesson in this video. Don't sell something everybody else is selling. Make it your own. Put a twist on it. Like if you're in a crowded market, make sure to have a more appealing offer than your competitor. So for example, in my case, right, I'm very open about what I do. You know, our business is homeservice.co. We help roofing and solo contractors with Facebook advertising. And I get quite a few people who come up to me like, hey, I'm gonna help roofers with Facebook ads. And I'm like, I have nothing personal against that. Like, it doesn't really matter. Maybe we're in different countries or whatever it might be, right? But the thing is here is that they're kind of missing the point, because the point is that you want to keep those guidelines or rules in mind, and you don't want to sell necessarily exactly what we sell, because we've been doing this since 2017 and selling Facebook ads to roofers. When we started out, or when I started out, pretty much nobody was doing it. Everybody was doing Google. So I had that leverage in the beginning. We had great results doing Facebook ads for roofers, and not a lot of them had tested it out. However, if I would start out from scratch right now, I would not necessarily go for that niche, because right now in my agency we have a ton of case studies, we have a brand, people know us, we've been working with a lot of bigger roofers, so that's kind of our leverage now. We've been in this industry for a long time. Yes, we're selling Facebook ads like a lot of other people, but we have better case studies, better past client results, etc., etc. So if I started out from scratch, I would find another market where I could see that same potential, essentially. A market that is only doing is a good market that has good growth potential. Maybe they were stuck in some offline type of marketing, or the ones that were doing online, they didn't really get great results from it. And then I would also look at like YouTube and TikTok, because YouTube and TikTok is new. It's definitely on the rise. Video is like the big new thing on the internet that is definitely getting bigger. And not a lot of agencies know how to do YouTube ads, because you have to figure out how to do the YouTube video instead of just having a static like image ad and so forth. So I would look at a new market with big potential and see if I could figure out something with TikTok or YouTube. But again, as mentioned, Facebook is the biggest social media platform today, so it's just a given for some markets, or it's a safe bet, right? And I want to end this video with a quote from Warren Buffett, and he said, you only have to do a few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. Obviously, he's referring a lot to investing, that he's doing a lot, right? But this definitely applies to the SMMA game as well, because if you choose a niche or a market that kind of checks all of these rules that I talked about, a growing market, they have business owners who want to spend money, they don't have a solution, or they want to try something new, you're unique in that market, you have something new that they want to buy. If you just find those right things and kind of go into the right market and you get that right, you can ride that wave for years and make a ton of money from it. And also, before I end this video, I just want to mention that we have our free SMMA course. You should definitely check it out if you're interested. Again, it's 100% free. I'm not asking $1 for it, and I'm sharing everything that I know about starting growing an agency in this course, so definitely go and check it out. All right, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below as well. If you check the comments in my videos, you will see that I reply to all of them right now. So if you ask me a question, I'm going to reply to you for sure. Also, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to take this channel big, so I would love to have you on for this journey and help you to start run and grow your own agency as well, via my course obviously, and via those videos. But again, hopefully you learned something new. If you have a question, please leave it below, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.